Today's April 27th, 2017. We're at the Hotel Opera, and we've just returned from our visit to the Figure Centre here in the Swiss Alps, just outside of Zurich, a small village where Billy Meyer's centre is, the Figure Centre. And this is the first time that Michel DellaFave actually met with Billy Meyer. And for those of you that do not know, Michel DellaFave is a doppelganger, someone that is a double for Ascot, and Ascot is one of the teachers that came with her ship from so-called outer space and came to visit and teach Billy Meyer. So we're just going to have a little debrief and check in with Michelle and see what she experienced and talk a little bit about our experiences at the centre and the wonderful time that we had with Billy Meyer.
I think the most exciting part was that when we drove up in this gorgeous oasis of green and all kinds of interesting art and very peaceful with lots of birds. It was kind of snowing.
It was snowing.
Yes, and then to look around and see Billy Meyer walking towards the car to greet us really just blew my mind.
With his son Atlantis, yeah.
Yes, and another gentleman. And the most amazing thing was for me that when I met him, I gave him a hug and looked at him, and he is a very loving human being, a very, like you said, he has a sparkle in his eyes that is all-knowing, and I could feel a very generous sharing of a loving human being who had experienced a lot and was very enlightened as well. I just felt a very peaceful feeling. They are very welcomed too.
So, for those of you that are unaware of the controversy that has been going on for such a long time around Michel DellaFave and her connection to Billy Meyer, apparently there was a photograph that was taken of Ascot that Billy then sent away for development, and the photo came back. There is a drawing of Ascot which we'll show you. And there is this famous photograph of supposedly Ascot. So when we were there with Billy, this was something that Michelle really wanted to get some clarity about. So what did Bill explain to you about this photograph?
Well, he had told me, yes, it may definitely be a picture of me, because he had taken the original pictures on the spaceship of Ascot and Mira, and he sent them off to be developed by a particular man in Switzerland, I think in Switzerland. And he told me that while they were being developed, there was something that happened, according to his knowledge, that the photos were stolen and they were replaced with these particular photos. And that he said that the person that did that was from the United States somehow. That is all that he can say right now about it, but that is what he had shared with me, if I'm correct.
So this photograph that's been doing the rounds in his books and on the internet and everywhere we see the mention of Ascot is really a photograph of you, and you are not a guest of the show, you are actually a performer on the Dean Martin show.
Yes.
And this is a still from the film,
Yes,
from the TV show.
yes, he had said that I look remarkably like her, and that he more or less, that was about all that he would say as far as the pictures. And that was enough for me to know that these pictures certainly they do look like me. And another girl that I used to work with also,
Susie.
Susie, yes,
Right.
on the
Not
show.
this Susie, another Susie. Yeah.
And we used to sit next to each other at this particular number. And I know that when I used to I remember growing my bangs out and putting little curls here on the sides of my face to keep it out of my face, you know, and kind of a style at those, and split in the middle. But the interesting fact for me is what I said to Billy, isn't it? It just fascinates me that in all the experiences of life, it would happen to be a picture that resembles me. Why not someone else?
You have to be
You-
neutral.
Yeah, you have to be neutral, of course. Important thing to be neutral. If you human, you have to be neutral to him, and you have to be neutral to yourself. But you have to be clear. It's not the spirit. It's not the spiritual force. It's just the consciousness force. Because everything, the whole power is going over the consciousness and through the consciousness, not over the spirit. The spirit is only the energy who gives the life.
Yeah.
And what you are doing with your mind, with your thinking, that's all made out of your consciousness. That's the very important point what have the human being. With them he works everything. He builds up everything or he breaks everything with it.
We are in the car, in our wonderful Uber car, driving out to Interschruti to see Billy. How are you feeling, Michelle? Are you excited?
Feeling really good, very excited, very much at peace. Finally resolving this.
And here we are at Figu Semjase Silver Star Centre, established in 1978 in the Swiss Alps. And we're about to have our meeting with Billy Meyer.
Oh, I wish we could stay here.
When did you get in touch with the material? Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, when did you get in
confronted
touch
with
this one?
these photos
When
that
did you know about Billy?
you are involved in this falsification of these photos. When were you confronted? You didn't realize, I think, when you were
I did
there
not.
at the TV show, it was
When was
to
the
be
first
later.
contact?
later?
The first time I went, I never was on the computer, I finally. And then a friend of mine said,
15 years ago.
yeah, maybe, not even that. And she said, you know, there's pictures of you floating around on the internet. And I said, what? I said, what is it? So she showed me this picture. I said, well, that's interesting. That looks like Susie and I from the D. Martin show. And then when I read the information, I said, I kind of laughed at first. I said, how funny that is. Me as an extraterrestrial, how wonderful. I was very flattered, actually. I thought, what an amazing blessing this can be. But then when I saw that there was so much fight in the world of what is he saying? What is, people saying, no, this is horrible. Don't go there, or and then people asking me to verify if that was my picture, and I said, well, that looks like me. But and then when I finally researched you and got to know who you were and what you were teaching, I said, well, I believe in UFOs. Wait a minute. I'm not going to say that his experience wasn't, but I kind of said, this is wonderful for me, actually. So why it had happened this way is miraculous to me in many ways. And everything that does.
Not only for you.
I know. So it is like we have.
He will tell you the story what's happened about.
I know many things have happened. Pictures and comparisons and my goodness, why me? That was my question. Why me? Of all the people on this earth,
I have more than 1,500 pictures, and the most of they are gone. A photographer have they stolen, and he mixed them together with them, fixed them up to a new thing, and everything like that. Yeah, these are not the original pictures. The original is gone. I don't know where it is.
Well, it's interesting that they would choose. Why would they choose those pictures? It's very, very fascinating to me. I don't know why they would take the original pictures and
they have done very wrong things with all the pictures. Kannst du mal erzählen, das ist der Schmied, der Fotograf vom Rheintal raus. Der hat die Fotos bekommen und hat die gefälscht, hat String hergemacht, also Schnür hergemacht und so weiter und so fort, auf den Schifffotos. Und das Original hat er verschwinden lassen. Das ist überhaupt nicht mehr vorhanden. Ich habe keinen Abzug und kein Dia und überhaupt nichts davon. Und retour gegeben hat er mir dann ein Dia mit diesen Fotos. Und es ist ein bisschen ein Unterschied, oder? Im Gesicht ist ein bisschen ein Unterschied. Und zwar bei beiden, aber es ist weitgehend, kannst du sagen, es sind Doppelgänger.
Genau, da hat er gesagt, sie sind zusammengesetzt aus 4 verschiedenen Personen.
Ja.
Eigentlich hat
Ja.
er da vor ein paar Jahren gesagt.
Listen.
Billy, in those days, Billy made his photographs and slides from all his photos. Dias hast du noch gemacht?
Ja.
Slides, and then he sent them away. And these.
Meier hat die geholt in Hinwil, wo ich in Hinwil gewohnt habe, hat er die geholt.
Also der Fotograf hat es
Ja.
bei dir geholt
Ja,
und hat es
zusammen
eigentlich
mit dem
entwickelt.
Schutzbachhans.
Ah, also du hast es eigentlich auf Lausanne geschickt zum Entwickeln, dann sind sie zu dir
Ja,
gekommen
richtig.
und dann hat sie er geholt zum Abzüge machen.
Ja,
oder?
zum Abzug machen.
A photographer called a name with the name of Schmidt from the Rhine Valley came to Billy, to Hinwil, to get the slides. He took them with him, and there, at his laboratory, he changed several or a number of these slides. To the ships he made little lines, so they appear to be hanging on a rope or on a thread. And here, with these
Ja,
photos,
jetzt habe ich sie alle.
he changed them. He took photos from you that were provided by people for America, and from people from America. They were in touch with this photographer, and he was threatened by these people to make these changes, and so Billy never got the original back, but only the faked, these manipulated pictures, and so they resembled the original Asket and Nera, and so these were looked du hast gedacht, das sei schon echt, weil die ähnlich sind, sie sind vielleicht
Ja,
ein Raumschiff.
ich habe im ersten Moment dann gesehen, at the first moment I thought I haven't seen what's really happened.
And to him, this appeared like photographs from Asket and Nera, and he didn't look closely. And so for many years, these pictures were sold as Asket and Nera pictures. And the intention of this falsification was that later, during the Billy Meyer case, in later years, these were looked upon as fraud, and the whole Meyer case should be categorized as a fraud also, because Billy would have falsified pictures, and so this was the intention by these people.
I'm sad that it's me. It makes me sad. That it, you know.
Usually there are people around the world, they are very bad.
I know. Well, it's unfortunate for me because in my heart I would never do anything like that to, you know, cause, especially you, any kind of distress or pain. So anyway, I guess well, I think it looks like a picture of me, but I said I've been a believer of UFOs since Charity of the Gods, and when that came out in the 70s, so thank you. God bless you. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to tell you. And that disturbed me because somehow other people were manipulating both you, but me too. I don't know how in the world. You know, it's like, and now if I want to continue my walk in whatever I'm going to do, you know, it makes me in a position of, well, is she speaking truth, or what? Where is she coming from? So it in my mission, which is very much what you are talking about, I wanted it to be taken seriously. This makes it so it is not taken seriously, and I can't explain it.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here, which is a miracle in itself to me.
But without this photograph, maybe you would never be sitting here.
No, that's what is so amazing.
And so many years later, you're sitting together.
So
Finally.
it's like, and I have such a, when I see you, I feel like I know you from many other, I don't know. It's just like my spirit is happy, bubbly. It is joyous. I just don't know how to explain it, but it is good.
The same happens here. Als je mal vertellen, wie mange moordaanslag was schon war.
23.
So that is,
There were 23 attacks on his life already in the meantime.
The last one just last year.
just last year.
Someone tried to blow up his life.
Why?
And so,
It just-
and this,
Because they don't like what I'm doing.
Mhm.
I mean, I
For
don't mind.
yourself, you are always the first one.
Yes, and I opened up the doors and said, okay, tell me more. What's going on here? I want to know more. So there, so that's my experience of it all. And here I am. It's like, and Susie came into my life because I knew that there were many experiences that I had. I was going through a healing process, not only of mind, body, and soul. And I was aware that things were expanding. I was growing in different ways, in ways that I could not explain, but I knew that I was ready to walk that, and Susie helped me.
And I'm not the Susie from that
No.
photograph.
Yes, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she started doing energy work on me and body work, but I knew that I had to go through almost like a purification of many things. So, and I felt that, you know, and glory, hallelujah. It was like I broke through, and then.
And then I contacted Michael Horn.
Here I am.
And
But
said-
that's my
and said we'd like to
spiritual walk.
visit you.
Just a question. You have a German background?
Ungarisch.
Ungarisch.
My family, both my mother and father, are Hungarian.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
What do you feel with Michelle? Is there
I'm
any?
sorry, I'm
any-
talking more than
Is there
you
any
are.
relationship? with
Somehow
you?
I get a good connection with her.
Somehow, yes, it's easy.
Und she's,
It's very easy.
gleicht sie immer noch ein bisschen der Asket.
Ja.
Does she still
Ja, sie hat
resemble
sich zwar
Asket?
verändert, aber die Züge sind eigentlich die
You
gleichen.
look similar to Asket. You're still looking similar.
Just a little bit older.
So could Michelle be an aspect of Ascot, or could she be like a part of the family of Ascot, or could she be in another universum Ascot?
Some
Or how do
hologram.
you?
No,
How do you-
I feel her as an earth human.
Right.
You feel Michelle is Earth human,
Yeah.
but she has a visual similarity to Ascot.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could there also be like a spiritual connection between them, or?
Geistige Verbindung zwischen den zwei.
Weiß ich nicht.
All human beings in the universe
think-
are linked, connected with each other by the spirit form.
Because there is a collective, with the older human is a collective around the universe.
Mm-hmm,
It can be there is a connection, I don't know.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I mean a directly connection.
mm-hmm.
The normal connection, that's given of course.
Yes.
It's
But if there is a special connection, I don't know. I never was asked about it.
So.
The most important thing is to teach the people. But to change they have them by themselves.
Yeah.
It's impossible to change a people. Each one have it to do it by himself.
From the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You cannot convince anybody because each person must decide could this be true or not, and think about it and compare it with other things and impressions and experiences, and then from this picture draw conclusions and slowly changing his behavior, his thinking or her thinking, and that's the truthful way like things are happening. It's every human being is part of creation of nature and of evolution.
And each one have to find the true into themselves.
Exactly.
The true you can't find outside. That's
I know.
a very own thing.
The consciousness is the factor where, with the thoughts, ratio, thinking, feeling, this psyche. The consciousness is the steering wheel
Right.
of your life. With the consciousness, you decide to do this or let it be, to do this, or to step back or to attack or so.
It's
the
the
consciousness.
self-working computer. To use the free will, you have to be free. To be free, it means you have to be neutral. Am schlausten, Sie muss unten anfangen.
Starting from the basic, from the basement up, from the first grade up. You cannot start
Slowly,
with
slowly.
the high grade.
Right.
Piece for piece, step for step. But you have to be sure it's not easy. You have to think about, to have to find the true into yourself.
I know, because
Not believe everything what I have written. Don't believe it. Find out the truth into yourself. That's very important. Not only to believe.
and I know there will be many who, like you know yourself, that will dispute everything. Well, how do you know? Why do you say this? What makes you think? Why you? Well, so I know I
By
must.
you, that's a very long story. That's not in English. It's written down, but not in English, in German only. Ja.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fragen?
Fragen.
Ja, natürlich.
So if I could just ask you, because I know recently there's not been a lot of information put out very recently in terms of interviews with you, what do you see now as we're now April 2017, yeah, on planet Earth? What do you think is the most important information that we could give the general public at this point, considering that the next few months are very, very volatile in terms of what we're looking at in world politics?
To get peace and freedom. Freedom. At
Peace.
first in the human being themselves, and then around the family, around the people, around the world.
And
That's the most important thing, to stop all the war and everything like that.
so it begins as inner peace,
Yes,
and so
because each human has war into himself, on this way or this way, and the same is going around the world.
so the Plejaren, from what I understand, they also went through this period of chaos and wars many thousands of years ago. What and for them too, it was the same transition to inner peace, which then radiates and becomes outer peace. So was there something?
The inner peace is very important to get a real human being. And if there not is peace inside, then not will be peace outside.
And people suffer with finding inner peace because of their understanding of duality or their concept of fear. I think
Nicht ganz verstanden.
people are very afraid.
Ja.
People have so
Yeah.
much fear, and
Yeah.
I think because of the fear, they are
Yeah.
unable to be peaceful. Do you see that some of that fear is actually a manipulation? That the fear is not necessarily just natural?
Yeah, that's a manipulation by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Fear is always triggered by the person.
Yes.
The
So,
choice.
Yes.
if people are afraid, they produce the fear.
Und das
with
strahlen
themselves.
sie aus. It goes out like waves
Yeah. Yeah.
to the other people, and they feel exactly the same.
And then it's self-generating.
If
isn't it?
they are not neutral, the fear goes over to the other
Yeah.
person, and they get fear also,
Of course.
and so that's why. So it's important to be neutral. If you see a person who has fear
Yeah.
or is afraid, control one thinking so you don't get afraid also.
Yeah.
So-
And compassion too.
And
Yeah.
we have compassion, of course, with people who have problems, who are suffering, having compassion, but
Mhm.
not suffering with them.
Right.
That's important
Of
that
course.
you don't suffer
Yes.
like the other person,
Yeah.
but having compassion, that's Mitgefühl,
Mhm.
that's okay.
And so the part of my question is, do you see or know of any other type of beings that are not human that are instilling fear or working on the planet in some way to control humans, or
Extraterrestrials who are
who are not benevolent?
also,
They don't exist. It's only the benevolent that are here.
Mm.
The Plejaran
Yeah.
and other,
Nobody else.
just the Plejaran.
Mm.
Mhm. And they continue to work
And
with
they
us.
are doing here just nothing.
Just nothing.
Just nothing.
As in observing.
They are
observing,
only
yes,
visitors.
beobachten.
The others are only visitors.
Mm.
And the Plejaran are doing more than observing, they're giving teachings.
Mm.
Yes. And can I
But
ask,
not so much.
they've slowed down, or
Yeah.
because of the trajectory of the Earth people? No?
It's my business.
Because you slowed down?
He's the teacher.
Yes.
So teaching happens through Billy,
Yes.
actually.
Yes.
That's his job, so to speak.
It's your big job.
It is.
His task.
Mm.
But that job, then the teachings get disseminated through you to the other people of the earth.
The teaching.
Through the books.
That's the
through
teaching.
Right
yeah.
here.
One of them. There are many of them, but that's one of them.
But you haven't been having many visitors or doing interviews? It's been...
Very rare interviews with Billy for many years now. Perhaps Michael Horn,
Yes.
or the Billy for Kids website. But it's a very rare thing that he gives. That's a rare
Event happening
situation
now.
now, actually. But usually the core group members are looking to the visitors now. We are talking with the visitors. But Billy is writing, and he does not be in the forefront.
Yes.
He says that the teaching are important, not himself as a person. He doesn't want to be a guru or be preached to or prayed to, and so no.
Das ist doch Shirley, oder? Ah ja, das ist Shirley MacLaine.
It was it was in the 1981, the fourth part, but the old book is full, and now you are using this book now for the visitors to put their names in. Yeah,
Das ist Shirley.
Yes,
Shirley MacLaine.
who also knew Dean Martin.
working together 3 weeks to cut trees.
With Shirley?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh.
She was using a chainsaw?
Yeah.
Shirley and I, we was behind on the car, and we cut the tree. And Jacobus, who was sitting here with the small bear, he was driving the car.
So I have a small, this is a crystal that I dug out of the ground in America, in Arkansas, in Hot Springs.
Bergkristall.
It's a
Bergkristall.
berg
A
crystal,
mountain
mountain crystal.
crystal.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's from the mountains in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and no, Michelle and I have touched it, and nobody else. It came out of the ground, and we put lots of healing meditation for your long life into the crystal.
Uh-huh.
So if you have pain, you can put it on.
Okay.
And this is
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And this is Ormus. Do you know Ormus? This is powder of Ormus. Ormus.
What's Ormus?
It's nanoparticles of gold, and it's very, very good to eat. And you take just a tiny piece. I can show you how to take it. And you eat it, and it helps for longevity, and it rebuilds the telomeres for the DNA. So if you have any illness, or you just want to live longer, or look sexy and gorgeous and young for a long time, you can take this.
You write down the word.
Yes, yes.
We can
But
Thank
this
you
is
very much.
the man that makes this. He's a metallurgist, and he was given information apparently from the Pleiadians on how to make the Pleiaren. We put it here, and then we lick it. Yeah. And just like this much, you can do twice a day.
And now he will live
No.
1 year longer.
Do you feel that?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing us to come and to be with you. And we have a conference in October in New York, and Michael will be coming to speak. Of course, we would love you to come to speak. If you ever come to New York, no traveling.
I don't use big planes.
You don't?
I don't fly by big planes.
Don't fly on big planes, only small beam ships. Yes.
Christian will write something of our meeting here.
A small report. I have seen today, I've looked into the internet, I've seen you, Misha, singing. And I've seen...
Hast du sie gesehen?
Heute musst du ihren Namen eingeben im Internet und sie ist, hat sie erwähnt. I've seen your website. She's singing with another woman. I only had this, not much time. I have your names, and I also listened to or watched a few videos from you, or not the entire.
The interviews or the channelings?
Channelings.
Uh-huh.
I've looked at some channelings.
I didn't talk about channeling because I know that it's not
But
a favorite.
I've just tapped into some. You have several videos,
Yes.
YouTube
Yes.
videos, and so I looked into them, a couple of them.
And what did you think?
Channeling, you know, we are not.
You're not into channeling.
We are
We
not
are
into
out of
channeling.
it.
Out of it.
Yeah.
So in my experience, what happens is I become a translator, and these beings tell me that they are Pleiadian, and that I am.
Look, channeling, that's the own ideas only,
You are tapping into
Then I think-
The
your
own
own
thinking.
thoughts.
Yeah,
and the own feeling.
yeah.
It's nothing else.
then I have some pretty nice ideas, I guess, because it sounds good to me. You know, they're very peaceful and very loving and compassionate. So the interviews are with different people about different spiritual understanding.
Who's Smiley's son?
I don't know. Het is herkomstgaffelijk, of er was
Ja.
iets.
Happy son.
Asune, Olaf.
De zonen.
How do you spell, pronounce your name?
DellaFave.
DellaFave. That's Italian.
Italian.
DellaFave.
As far as I know,
Michel
that's
DellaFave.
my father.
From East Center.
So what do you feel about energy healing when we do hands healing?
Yeah, that's absolutely possible.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Because that's what I teach, and Michelle is my student,
Mhm.
and I teach.
Thoughts is energy.
Yes.
So it's the thoughts that work.
Mm-hmm. Do the Pleiaren use their hands to do energy healing?
Yeah.
They do, and they can fix anything within a few moments of using their hands.
I think yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So it's good if we do this on the earth now, because I think this is an ancient.
I have done it too in the village Hinwil.
Mm-hmm.
No.
In the 70s or before, he also did healings.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. I don't make anything more like this.
Anything with healing.
Not only healing, other things too.
Thinking and I promise I won't channel. I promise. Michelle, come closer. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Goblet of truth. All the information.
Awesome.
Okay. So
We are separated from the whole world.
not really. We know.
Oh, I might.
We connect with you all the time. Before we were coming, we were sending love. Willkommen. Did you get the message? No.
I feel something.
We send. If I make a video, do I need to send it to you first for approval?
Ich brauche keine Prüfung.
Okay, keine Prüfung.
Now it's okay.
Okay. And is there anything that you would like to say to finish?
No, it's okay.
It's all good? Okay,
No.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. Thank you for your visit.
Thanks for listening and speaking and sharing and thank you. Wonderful. All of these you have collected?
That's not from us, but from a Meyer of Swiss Air.
We were just, remember we, with Susie, remember we were reading about the princess and the stag.
Look here, how we built it up, our center here, from March 77.
The building at the center?
Now, today, this picture here.
That's the building at the center here.
Yeah. This was the start here in the center, March 77.
Uh-huh.
Billy, this is nice. Someone made that for you?
Yeah, I got it from a friend in Hamburg.
Wow. That's amazing. So, all of this is your property here?
Yeah. an hectare. It means 1 hectare is 100 and 100 meters.
Okay.
11 times.
Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Finally. Eddie,
Okay.
God bless you. And
I wish you all the best and a
Thank
good
you.
flight. Yeah. To the next.
So we're speaking with Christian from FIGU, who's been involved with FIGU for some 30 years at this point now. Yeah, and
in the core group, but longer affiliated with FIGU, of course, longer.
Longer.
But just in the core group, I'm right now 30 years.
and you've had your own experiences as well, seeing beam ships.
I've seen beam ships at night and at daytime, yes. 3 times actually.
All at the FIGU
At the
space.
FIGU Center, yes.
And what is do you think the most important message that you have worked with and received over 30 years working together with Billy Meyer?
I've realized, as actually I have, through my studies of the spiritual teaching, I realized that I don't have to fear death, for instance, because I know my spirit form will survive, even if my personality is dissolved when I die, and so that's an important realization. And the main, what's impressive for me or important for me is to be a part of. It's actually the Billy Meyer case is a historical, a case of historical importance, and to be a part of this is impressive.
Has anyone ever contacted Billy Meyer from the military?
Yeah, military. They in the first years, they when he went to a contact, they followed him with cars and with walkie-talkies, and so they tried to see the ships. Yeah,
But recently, there's been any
no,
contact at
no,
all?
no.
Would you welcome contact from, for example, the American military, or?
No, of course not. The U.S. military, we are not friends with the U.S. military because we are informing the people about the bad machinations of the American military, because ISIS, Islamic State, is a direct result from the intervention of the U.S. military into Afghanistan and Iraq. If they wouldn't have done this, there would be no ISIS. There would not be refugees flooding Europe. And so we are absolutely not interested into any military. No.
And is there any commentary about the deep space program? Do you see that there, or does Meyer see that there is a deep space program going on, which is happening completely behind the scenes?
Deep space, I don't know what you mean.
That the American military is creating a spacecraft that they have access to, very advanced technology.
Ah, yes, they have, of course, many. I have to drive over there because he has to go in here. Of course, they have very sophisticated flying devices, and many of the so-called UFOs that people observe are actually secret flying devices from the U.S. military, and other countries also have
And
such flying objects. Yes.
do you believe that those are back engineered from objects that they've recovered, or
in parts, because Roswell was a real extraterrestrial incident, but these were not human beings. They found that these were androids, and as far as I know, they used the debris, the
Remnants of the craft.
Remnants of the craft they used to develop certain to know or to learn about. Here's the taxi. To learn about the structure and
Right, but that was not a
material.
Plejaran craft. That was a different craft.
Yeah, that's a different. There's been no Plejaran craft.
Mm-hmm. So thank you so much. That's us. That's our Plejaran craft, right?
That's
And how many years have you been working together at Figu?
at Figu. Next month it's 30 years.
30 years.
I'm a member of the core group.
So what happened to you that you became involved? Did you see something or?
I have read a book in a newspaper, and then I found the photo book in a bookstore in Zurich.
Uh-huh.
That's the beginning.
And have you had your own experiences as well and seen ships?
I've seen on several occasions. I've seen the ships. Yes.
Yes. And just when you actually see the ships, did you receive like an energetic information or a transmission just by being in the vicinity of the ship?
Just normal, like you see an airplane.
Just a visual.
These are vehicles.
Uh-huh.
They're just devices for traveling from one place to another.
Uh-huh. And how do you see the information going out to the general public, or to at least the spiritual open people that are ready? Do you think that it's going to get out there more and more now?
Yes, it's a slow process, because teaching cannot just be swallowed, it must be digested and applied in one's everyday life, and that's not an easy thing.
No.
It's a slow process, because people have many preconceived ideas, they have beliefs, and so to get rid of them and to neutralize them and replace them by reality is quite a task.
Yeah.
And needs time. Needs a lot of time. The Plejaran state that they had some contacts with about 3 or 4 people who have died in the meantime.
Uh-huh.
So they only Billy Meyer has conscious contact with them, but they had influenced scientists through impulses to make new inventions, new discoveries since 1844.
Uh-huh.
So to
You have
speed up
access now.
the scientific progress, so that the internet could develop, so Billy can now disseminate his teachings unaltered, because the old prophets people could not read, and so the teaching could not be preserved.
Uh-huh.
And that's now it's possible today.
So just to paraphrase, you said that the Plejaran have been influencing scientists and influenced them to establish the internet so that the information could be disseminated.
To discover make new discoveries. So as a result, technical progress has been sped up.
Uh-huh.
Because if they wouldn't have done this, we would still just now invent cars.
Right.
And so we would not have reached this state of technical advancement.
Right. And sorry, can I ask you to switch off the radio because it's going into the sound on the camera? The radio? Can we switch it off? The radio. Thank you. It's going to sound. So what else do you know of that they have influenced technologically?
They have influenced, like for instance, the periodical system, or
The periodic table?
The element, the
Yeah,
list
the
of
periodic
elements.
table. Yeah.
The list of elements to, or the double helix, the genetic structures, all these things, but the scientists were not aware that they have received these impulses. That has happened. They thought they had their own ideas.
Right. So the Ormus that I gave Billy is also supposed to have been received as well from the Plejaren. And what do you think, in your understanding, what do you think is the most important information that Billy is sharing now for where we are in the world?
There are several important points, as he said, peace, to achieve peace.
Inner peace.
And you can only have peace if the people have peace within themselves.
Inner peace.
It starts everything starts within the people.
Right.
And the other important thing is that every person must be fully aware that everything is steered, directed by one's thoughts.
Yes.
All the feelings people have are triggered by themselves.
Exactly.
Because feelings are the result of the thinking, and then of course it's kind of a circle, but the feelings are triggered. And thus every person is responsible for what the person thinks and acts and does.
And what do you think, because of all of the vast predictions and prophecies, what do you think is coming up next? We're talking now in April, end of April 2017. What is the next prediction or prophecy that's coming up?
Yeah, the prophecies are that everything is getting worse unless people or politicians are changing their thinking and behavior. And you see there are many people in the governments who are behaving bad or evilly. I'm going up here. We have to look then for a taxi if there's one here. Here. We have a number up there. But we can talk first.
Oh.
Responsibility, yeah. And of course, perhaps good to say to you, since you are coming from the United States, the United States is the main factor of unpeace in the world, because
So the United States is the main factor of non-peace?
of unpeace or non-peace
Unpeace.
or
So it is
quarrel, because for us since a long time, United States government and the secret services and all the whole system, they are interfering in other countries. They are having a bad influence all over the world, because they are not taking care of their own country, and are taking care that the United States as a country, that there are not so huge differences between the poor and the wealthy ones, and the infrastructure and everything. They are.
That's all driven by corporate greed or by individuals?
If you break down, everything goes back down to individuals. Even Trump is an individual, but he's being turned around in his politics by the people around him, the forces around him. You see this. he is changing and changing his promises, and the same happened with Obama. If you look at the start and then how he was changed during his presidency, and of course he was threatened also because he had to take care of his life. If he wouldn't have I think if he wouldn't have consented or went with the directives of the system, he would have been killed, I think.
And do you see that all of that, what is happening behind the scenes, you see that all as human? You don't see it as in any way some...
That's human beings, yes,
Yeah.
of course, yeah. And groups and
So in that understanding, if the Plejaren are able to influence scientists to develop things like the internet, as you said before, can't they influence politicians then to be...
No, they don't influence politicians, but of course usually the inventions were used not for civil
use?
use, but for military use. And this has to do with the political forces and a long-term striving for world domination, and with materialistic thinking and not having the good of the human population in mind, but to strive for profit, for materialistic goals or objectives.